based JRPG. It's really interesting stuff for sure.
I found my copy of the Mario Tennis Game Boy Color recently.
Really?
I have like well over 100 hours on that game pack. It's a RPG.
You'd love to see it.
The Mario Tennis and golf games that they made for the handheld systems are amazing RPGs in my opinion.
Absolutely.
All right,
And
what do we got? Yo.
Hey, there it is.
We're
There's
not
the Toon
telling
Link.
lies.
I just
Okay.
talked about this. It's not actually the pit we were talking about. It is the Toon Link, the other character Alternis has on board. He was warming it up when I talked to him about 15, 20 minutes ago. And it's going to be fun to see. With Bramble Blast on Battlefield, that's a good start,
Okay,
Jackie.
So I want to talk about the logic here because it was pretty obvious when you talked about Pit having Reflector, good tools to deal with the projectile onslaught, you know, as it were, from Richter. Oh, okay.
That's a good start.
So what's the logic with Toon Link? It feels like it's almost countering the projectiles by throwing your own projectiles at it,
Exactly.
right?
Fighting fire with fire in a lot of these scenarios. But there's some things that Squidplumber does have, and Richter, that really quick out of shield option with the up B, the tether recovery. Well, both of them have tether recoveries, of course. But the whip is the long-range scenario, so even if you can meet your match with projectiles, the game in the mid-range is going to be very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that Toon Link's arrows definitely kind of pale in comparison to Young Link's when people talk about projectiles in this game. But I think they could be a really big problem in this because they just shut down your movement. You just get hit by it and you're like, oh, I guess I'm just sitting here now.
The weirdness of Toon Link's arrows, how it's kind of slow and gliding, it creates a very difficult wall you have to kind of maneuver around as opposed to just a quick rapid-fire shot.
Yeah, and whenever Richter's recovering, it's going to be a big problem if he gets hit by a momentum-stopping arrow. So this first stock, though, looking really even.
Back and forth, back and forth. Who's going to be the first one to take it? Squidplumber throwing everything except the kitchen sink at Alternis, hoping something will land. I mean, that's kind of how it works, a war of attrition. But it's actually the errant downer getting caught by the up air of Alternis.
Yeah, it really looks like the slow arrow is actually a problem for Richter on landing there.
Makes sense. And now it's a scenario where Alternis actually does start off with a lead here, getting caught by the axe, so evening it up rapidly. And Squidplumber not deterred in the slightest.
Yeah, the floatiness is like, it gives and it takes, right, for Toon Link. Because there is just like, all right, how do I land? How do I get through this space? I'm just slowly floating here.
Causing some pressure. No, that dash attack is a quick punish. Just back and forth between these two. And it's interesting to see them kind of have to try to find that avenue, find that one opening to really keep it moving. And otherwise, it's just a constant war of attrition between them.
Yep, we saw Alternis go for an arrow grab. That's really important conditioning with the projectiles here, so keep an eye on that.
Not quite getting the follow-up he wanted there. Avoiding one whip of the Belmont killer, or the Vampire killer, of course.
Yep, and there's the floatiness. It's helping out so much because you really don't know exactly where Toon Link's going to be when he jumps off the ledge like that. Another axe, though!
Alternis, you have to be careful of that arcing axe. It is very difficult to avoid this, but it is predictable, so you have to kind of be aware of when Squidplumber is prone to throwing them out.
Oh, what coverage. Okay.
Floating is coming in handy again, staying in the air longer to throw out more hitboxes. You'll love to see it.
The down smash there was really smart, too, because he knew he had the cross coming to hit him out of his lag. Okay. That's big damage on that back air. Okay, an empty, is that an empty cross?
Yeah, empty cross 2 times. Yep, not getting the tether either. That's important. And Alternis not even bleeding too bad. This is awfully close.
That's where the low knockback of those arrows actually really helps out. If that hits Richter high enough, he has time to drift in.
Ooh, this is a couple of reset situations coming in from Alternis. Squidplumber just opting to just get out of dodge. Yeah, let me just reset the situation, get out of there. Ooh, has the holy fire.
Yeah. Okay, forward tilt off stage. Again, it feels like the big winning scenario for Squidplumber has been axe to catch, jump over ledge. How is Alternis going to get over the ledge? He's not.
Down smash. Squidplumber popping off right at the start immediately. He knows how important this game is to get towards that top 8 winner side slot. Of course, you need, as you said, 2 to make it there, but this is the first half of the way.
Yeah, and I mean, with as much history as they have and as success, like Alternis actually kind of breaking through with a new character, it's got to be a little bit scary to see this. So,
yeah, you can't slouch on Alternis, even though you have that pretty strong winning record. He's not someone you still want to underestimate, even if you have that. You have to work every single time to get that win.
Dude, I'm always so scared when the Mac players start picking up other characters. If you're going to be good with Mac, you have to have a really intense understanding of player habits and stuff like that. And if you can start applying that with characters that have tools in the air and on the ground, that's terrifying.
It's pretty good. You know, understanding the whiff punishing, understanding the neutral. Playing a bad character actually really beats some core concepts into you. Or if you have a character with certain weaknesses, you actually learn how to refine your gameplay around those weaknesses. And
exactly.
I believe, listening to the Kingdom Hearts music, we might be going to Hollow Bastion. And there is the little Mac, Jackie.
Ooh, I wonder. I feel like this low platform has to be godlike for Little Mac. I feel like I haven't seen a ton of Mac play on this stage, but
I can definitely see it. Squidplumber is just saying, back, dog, back. Trying to get him as far away as possible, that's for sure.
All right, no cross up on that air dodge, but yeah, Squid is chilling right here in the early parts of this game, too.
Yeah, this is exactly what you kind of expect to see with a strong start here. Just not giving him any chance to get his avenue in, but once he finds one, hey, KO punch is on deck, so this is kind of even right now.
Yep, and you have to watch your shield for a number of reasons right now, too, with that down smash. Okay.
That returning cross kind of saves Squidplumber a lot because the lack of KO punch means the threat of instant death is not as present right now for Squidplumber. Oh, catching him with the holy water. You love to see it.
And big problem there with the amount of hurt box on that side B for Little Mac, right? He couldn't even get to the ledge there.
Yeah, it interrupts him. And leaving yourself exposed to the Vampire Killer is devastating, that's for sure.
Okay, so the side B will hit opponents on the platform there easily. Yeah, it's a really good tool for Mac here, but just the space control is too good for Squid right now.
Exactly. There it is. Like, once again, you can't actually grab the ledge. You can't even get yourself in invulnerability.
Yeah, and I don't think going low helps there.
It doesn't. The fact is that you're not getting the invulnerability, you're just gone. I like the counter coming in, trying to put Squidplumber on the back foot somehow, but Alternis needs to find a way to stop the bleeding.
That cross that's thrown off stage like we just saw here, was it high enough? Yeah, it was. And that's such a good tool because it forces you to be so thoughtful in your ledge play, and sometimes it just forces you to hold shield in a way that lets you off the ledge for free, one of Richter's biggest weaknesses, right?
Not getting the up B to finish it off the top. Alternis struggling right now, trying to just move around the platforms, but Squidplumber's control of space is a little bit too great.
I see why he didn't go Little Mac game one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought the counter pick would make a difference on this stage, but even then, it's not quite enough right now. There's a great punish.
I'll also say this feels like a matchup that will be totally different if Mac can find a first stock, right? Find the first stock, force Richter to actually be the one who initiates. But in this case, when Squid took the lead and just started like, all right, now you have to be the one to make something happen.
Exactly. And trying to fight Belmont when they're playing their key game plan of keeping you out and throwing every single projectile at you, especially with a character that lacks a lot of good resources like Mac, it's not easy.
He knew. Tried to go for some counter cheese.
Finally getting that ledge. It took him 3 times, so he has another release on life.
The up smash still doesn't hit that platform?
That's unfortunate, actually. I was hoping Alternis could get something like that. That's why he counterpicked it, but not enough. Yeah, stage control. There's the cross again, making it so that Alternis has to choose something.
Yeah, even the air dodge not helping that much. Okay, side B over the down tilt.
Armoring through it. That's pretty smart.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen layers, but they're not really doing anything to aid the ledge trap. Okay, all right.
Far enough away, couldn't recover it. And KO punch is near.
Yeah, I'm going to say your last stock against Little Mac, it's a game again.
Exactly. Opting to just, again, wall him out as best he can. Alternis finding small bits here and there. And as we're saying that, KO punch on deck.
Definitely a character with the speed to whiff punish forward tilt. Okay.
That's
clutch.
Cross, actually? No, but he doesn't have the side B anymore. So he's off. And if that counter hit, he actually would have gotten back, but thankfully Squidplumber not even finding his mark, but creating the pressure to make the situation happen anyway.
Yeah, and that's got to be discouraging for Alternis because I guess you did sort of have the situation that you're looking for as your win condition late in the game. You had KO punch, he was on last stock, but man, that's just dominant from Squid.
Exactly. All right, Smashville. A little bit of a smaller stage. I mean, Hell Bastion's just kind of wide Smashville to a degree. And there's the pit. Again, another character swap, and that's actually what we've seen take Squidplumber in a 3-0 fashion. So if there's any time to break it out, now is it.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it makes sense to not even try Terry here because you're just going to get forward smashed off the ledge a lot if you like screw up your recovery at all.
And look, you have arrows and you have a reflector as well. Reflector can actually make the difference here. Not to mention that reflector is also a shield, so it's actually hard to break even if you throw out a smash attack.
It's like a pseudo counter almost.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, and also the end lag is surprisingly short, which is something you need to keep in mind.
That was a patch change, I want to say, during quarantine, or close to it.
Even reflecting the cross back, just something to keep in mind. But even as that's happening, Squidplumber still kind of has a percentage lead, but every hit is a little bit greater for Alternis.
Oh, beautiful. Recognizing that he had him behind him, going for the nair. Nice damage. Yeah, and the fact that arrow goes through the holy water, which is not always the case with projectiles, that's pretty nice for Pit here, but... Oh, okay, good spot dodge.
Oh, even actually kind of thinking about the read, but not quite finding the purchase there. Trying to throw some arrows out, trying to cause some pressure. Now you're flying up in the air. giving him more stuff to bounce off of. Oh, I love the catch, and actually just barely taking it off the top.
Very smart stage counter pick, too, because there's not a whole lot of characters that get to cover the platform on Smash Bros. Like that.
Yeah, causing that confusion once more. Squidplumber's not used to having his projectiles work against him. He's used to fighting other projectiles, but he's not used to having them reflected on them.
Totally. Okay, yeah, using the platform again. Big damage. I love that up tilt scoop to keep it going.
That's a great, and dashing out to avoid the nair. That's amazing stuff. And Alternis is looking like a new lease on life here. But can he get the gimps?
No, not quite.
Not quite.
But it's so simple what Alternis is doing in neutral, just these little dash in, dash out, but he hasn't been able to use that, even with faster characters that he's been using. Okay.
So having the ability to actually play to some strengths, get himself on the board a little bit, that's something. I mean, I'm not saying it's a game quite yet, but Alternis is working and doing everything he can to make it happen.
Oh, great shield poke. The spacing there from Squidplumber.
And now Squidplumber's adapting. He's realizing that he can reflect those and he needs to be careful.
Yep, it's always curious with the reflectors, like who's going to have frame advantage after. But it looks like the jump is, relatively safe for Squid there. Yeah.
Oh, that was actually terrifying. Oh my goodness.
Hard attack. Yep.
It's weird here that he didn't get the arrow to actually capitalize off of Squidplumber being so far off stage. But can he do it this time? I mean, he's air dodging. He's not getting the angles.
It looks like he's trying to preemptively cover like the neutral air dodge or something like that, but it doesn't matter. We got the dash attack.
Yep. Off the top, it's all G-Road for that one.
The reflect against axe is obviously good to not get hit, but I feel like you're never actually going to hit Richter with it.
Exactly. Not to mention his Pit's side B is also a reflector, by the way. So something you need to keep in mind that it's also aggressive and it packs a punch. Oh, and a gimp coming out. Alternis on the board.
Yep, and that is a classic issue for characters that have to recover from low against those multi-hit nairs. For me, it's Palu that gets me with that every time, but if you got those spin-to-win nairs, that's great if you can force somebody to recover low like that. And
what's important to keep in mind is that he's using Pit over Dark Pit because you need the maneuverability of the arrows to gimp more. It's not about the power and the percentage. It's about making sure that the recovery doesn't come to fruition.
Yeah, totally. All right, on the board. Stage counter pick twice now for Squidplumber, though.
Yeah, having that advantage is so crucial in a best-of-5 scenario. So we're going back to PS2, tried and true.
Yeah, wants more stage space. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Starting off strong, though, simple grab, get a little bit of percent. A little bit of a scary air dodge from Squidplumber. Alternis not quite ready to follow up on it, but that's a habit you keep in mind. You put it in the pocket.
Oh, certainly. Oh, that actually hit below the orbiter.
What's important about the orbitars is that you're not invulnerable. You have weak spots, on top, on your feet. So if you can actually angle it correctly, you can knock them out of it. It's just the forward-facing and the back-facing orbitar can be confusing.
Oh, did you see how much parry stun he was in after the reflected axe? So never mind. I guess that will be relevant.
Absolutely.
Oh, you saw the startup. That's an interesting answer to the Richter down air. Okay.
Yeah. This weird aerial battle between these two is pretty entertaining.
Up B is like 40% away from killing with good DI at this point. But
I love that.
That's going to be a tough spot.
Not going to kill just yet, but enough to cause some pressure.
That's so good. It basically removes Squid's ability to ledge trap, and that's what Richter does.
That's the tried and true strength of the character. So denying Squidplumber one of his ways to win, get stocks, is pretty big.
Yeah. All right, just a bit short on the grab. Oh, no. Wow, what a recovery.
And actually, Alternis is going too deep for his.
Yeah, that hurts.
That hurts
really
to
see, but like, I just really, when I saw Squid go high, I was like, he doesn't have the juice for this.
So both players surprising us on that one, that's for sure. Creating the pressure, just the multiple jumps of Pit means that he can stay in the air longer than a lot of other characters.
Yep, he's able to get these like frame traps on Ricky's landing that he was not getting with the other characters. But look at all this damage. You're a kill percent, let's be real. Yeah. Oh, so scary.
Spooky scenario, that's for sure. And honestly, a little bit of the wind in Alternis' sails has dropped after dropping that edge guard. He's finally able to get it with a dash attack,
and that was
but
rough.
You got to make up.
Yep. That was absolutely the break that Alternis needed. And yeah, I mean, the neutral's been good, which, I mean, that's kind of like, it feels like, Pit cliche, right? But
exactly.
That's what the counter pick's about.
Not getting the down smash, though, because Pit was so high up. Ooh, getting the grab now off of this.
Oh, yeah, good match. Also, I think that's Squid recognizing he's not going to get the kill off the F-throw, not wanting. Oh,
again, off the top, it hit the head, it didn't hit the shields. That's important to keep in mind. That's a great avenue for Squidplumber. Looking pretty healthy on this second stock, but can he take it? Can he clinch this set?
clean stuff with the back air, but oh man, that was so good to cancel out that arrow with the landing aerial. Okay. Yeah, looking for grabs, I think, Alternis. Needs a big opening here.
Playing a much more careful game, you can see it. I'd rapid dab to punish the spot dodge, that's smart. Ah, that caught.
Yikes, yeah, and Squid was equally surprised, I think. At least did not expect that spacing.
All right, triple-digit % for Squidplumber stock here.
So the thing is, there's a lot of these times right now where Alternis is getting like dash out, dash in, grab, right? Mm-hmm. And he's catching landing air dodges. What if he forward smash?
That's true.
I think he's going to need one of those kind of big plays here. But
that was
great.
A good gift. That was an amazing arrow. All right, Alternis down but not out, that's for sure. If you get one good gimp, if you start fighting yourself on the board a little bit more and you keep avoiding the setups, you got yourself a game 5.
Oh, yeah, great follow-up by Squid. Got him off stage, is what you're looking for. Yeah, great frame trap.
Up tilt, actually, to kind of catch him slipping. Again, spot dodging there to avoid the running grab. Good grab.
Yeah, yep, again, trying to keep forward throw fresh, I think.
Does that kill?
Doesn't matter.
Barely, there it is, and Squidplumber popping off, going for the handshake in the 3-1.
He's got a lot of energy, man. It's really fun to watch.
The kid's passionate. You gotta give credit where credit's due. And again, this is an MD versus VA, so it's a region team kill, but there's also that little bit of an inter-region rivalry, of course.
So when we're looking at the bracket, there's a pot of 4 that's guaranteed. One of the 4 is guaranteed to make winners top 8, right? And it was the winner of this set, and it's the winner of one of the sets that we'll be seeing later on between Unleashed and who is it?
PK Chris?
Yes, Unleashed and PK Chris. And so one of those 4 will be making winner's side top 8 here.
That's huge.
And so one of those 3